let's talk about Manipur real quick. The Supreme Court is going to, it has sought for a fresh report on Manipur. Now, there were lethal killings. People are saying it could have been the bloodiest clash in the last 2.5 months in Manipur. What's your take on how, the Chief Minister has postured it himself? The Chief Minister went to the forest areas. He hit the ground running. He tried to assess the situation. And on his Twitter page, there are proper pictures of him carrying out that particular meeting as well. Take a look at that picture to the top right.
Well, Kabir, whatever done and said, it's almost been May 3rd, right? Where we've been reporting the violence from May 3rd onwards, especially when it's been. So now it is July 4th. I mean, it's almost May 3rd, June 3rd. 2 months since the violence has broken out.
And the 4th of July, usually, a happy day, a day full of festivities and celebrations. But yeah, I do understand where you're coming from.
So now we are talking about a chief minister who's hitting the ground right now when it is almost 2 months of the violence, and probably that is because he's been given that mandate saying that rein in the violence as fast as possible.
There are calls to flag the Manipur issue in the parliament as well.
That is why. The session is going to happen.
That is why. July,
so they have to get it under control at anything.
Do you think that is again going to become a tussle point between the opposition and the central government? Where,
well, the opposition has.
We've heard Mallikarjun Kharge say plenty of times.
They have a lot on that plate, and Manipur is going to, in fact, the opposition is going to use that in the parliament, and probably are going to start to a very noisy start to the, the first debate in the new parliament.
Furor, ruckus, adjournment.
We are going to see all those headlines soon, and probably on Manipur we are going to in fact see that. I have an article which is saying that situation is slowly improving in Manipur. This is what the government is saying, and as you rightly pointed out, SC seeks report. But there's something, one more interesting, I think people in Manipur will also would want to know that schools to reopen from class 1 to 8 from July 5th. That is tomorrow onwards, we would have the schools reopening. The Manipur Department of Education has issued an order on Monday stating that schools for classes 1 to 8 will start from July 5th, nearly 2 months after the ethnic violence between the Meitei and Kuki communities rocked the northeastern state. So that is one thing that we should do. Then there is also another report of a fresh gunfight in Imphal West. No one is hurt in that. A gunfight broke out between two groups in Imphal West district on Monday. Again, Kavi, this just points out to the fact that there's too much of weapons on the ground. This comes after 3 people were shot dead and another beheaded along the Vishnupur-Chuchandpur border in the state. This is still the, the flash point where this thing keeps happening. And right now, some of the figures that are coming in is that at least 120 people have been killed in Manipur since May 3rd, and let's hope some kind of better sense will prevail. Meanwhile, the big story, of course, is that the SC's sought report on this, and the Supreme Court on Monday directed the Manipur government to submit an updated status report by July 10th to furnish details of the steps taken to curb the ethnic clashes that have overrun the northeastern state since early May, claiming at least 120 lives. While the state government submitted that the situation is improving, albeit slowly, the top court has called for the latest report setting out the measures undertaken.
And rightly so. I mean, this is an e-copy of the Tribune. It says security implications of Manipur mayhem. The situation can rapidly go out of hand if political considerations obstruct the deployment of security forces. The article also goes on to say that the volatile situation in Manipur is dominated by several narratives ranging from ethnic cleansing to narco-terror and the Christian-Hindu conflict. However, the fact remains that sponsoring mercenaries or armed groups on the basis of ethnic or region-based loyalties is a self-destructive exercise. And we've already seen how the community on the ground continues to be divided. So, in that sense, when the Chief Minister comes and says that, let's forget and forgive and let's move on, isn't that what Manipur needs right now? I mean, everybody's very loosely called out the Chief Minister and said that, he's a supporter of the Meitei community. The Chief Minister has his own biases. Do you think that this step by the Chief Minister, where he's come out and said, he gave that emotional interview to the agency as well, he tore his resignation letter, the amount of people that got collected outside his house asking him to refrain from stepping down, and then him coming out and saying that, let's forget and forgive and let's move on, and, Kuki, Meitei, everybody's bhai. I mean, Isn't that what we were looking for in the first place?
Kabir, we have to appreciate the fact that he did come out to the media, he did make the appeal, everything. But the question that we should be asking is it a little too late right now? Because
Better late than never is also a similar idiom, no?
better, it is. I mean, I agree with you that, when it comes to the issue about Manipur, I mean, there is a lot that could have been done right now, but right now it is too late. But at least, as you pointed out, better late than never is one option that we should be looking at. And also, we should, Kabir, let us take a point of view from one thing about Manipur. Manipur has been burning for almost 2 months. Politics
It's going to be nearly 3 months.
is now,
very soon.
3 months soon. May 3rd, June. I mean, there are a lot of boots on the ground. They are having their own challenges. The security forces are unable to implement the will. And Manipur has been burning. And of course, you have the right noises now being made on Manipur, especially when it comes to the Chief Minister calling a meeting with the MLAs, forgive, forget, move on. I mean, by words, they are loaded. But for the people on the ground, it's very difficult. You have so many people displaced. Their homes have been destroyed. The businesses have been destroyed. They have to move away from where they have settled. People from the valley who had settled in the hills are moving back into the valley. People who are from the hills who are settled in the valley are moving back into the hills. The ethnic divide has led to this ghettoization of both the communities. And it is going
Alienation.
to be alienation and ghettoization. So it's going to be very difficult
To come out of that.
Yes, this violence is going to be, very raw in the memory of the people. So the issue over here is, of course, yes, we have to get the law and order situation on the ground. We have to have it running on the ground. But then, right now, the right noises are being made, but there could have been much more done before it reached this situation.
Yesterday again in Jantar Mantar there was a protest that was carried out, placard saying save indigenous people of Manipur, save India. Now again some positive steps that the Chief Minister has taken when it comes to Manipur. It says Manipur Chief Minister Biren Singh announced on Monday that students from classes 1st to 8th would be able to return to school from the 5th of July as his government rolls out a series of confidence building measures to get the restive state back on the rails, including special protection for farmers and demolition of all illegal private bunkers in the valley and the hills. Classes 9 to 12th will resume once prefabricated houses are ready for displaced families currently sheltered at various relief camps. So, I mean, we thought that, after the Home Minister's visit, the train that had started moving a little bit had taken a complete halt. But now it seems like there are progressive and positive steps that are being taken on the ground. How far will these confidence building measures go, and will this be able to curb the violence in the state? Well, we'll have to wait and find out. But the Chief Minister says that schools are going to be opened up, and for the 9th and 12th classes, the schools are going to open up. But once the
housing is said, but at least 1 to 8 they're planning to open from July 5th onwards. I think tomorrow onwards they're planning to go ahead with that. But again, Manipur, it is going to be very difficult a situation to navigate, because now it has reached a point where no matter who the stakeholders are, there's so much of water that's flown down the bridge, and the memories are very high. The leaders can't be looking to be looking weak in from that community, so they have to take a very strong stand from their point of view, because otherwise they will be voted out from their respective communities if they represent those constituencies. So it's become too mired in things, and it will take a huge leap of faith to move towards peace. It will be a huge leap of faith.
But something's got to give, right? And beggars can't be choosers at this point in time. If a huge leap of faith is what the situation demands and asks for right now, why shy away from it then?
Well, over here, I mean,
I know trust and faith don't come that easy. Given 2.5 months of this tenuous situation in the state, I know it doesn't come easy. But if that's what will give, then why not give into it?
Well, but how, Kabir? I mean, there are emotional people, people out over there who have lost everything. It's going to be very difficult to.
I agree. I mean, again, easy for us to say.
Say from here, it's very easy for us to say, but there are people who are suffering.
People
on
who
the
are
ground.
actually watching this, this live stream, please get down in the comment sections. help us understand what the latest situation is like. What is the ground sentiment looking like right now? File status report by Monday. So the Supreme Court has told Manipur it has asked it to detail steps that were taken up to curb violence and provide relief.
Well, also one small information that's come in the Hindu. The Kuki groups have lifted the highway block after talks with officials. The 60-day blockade of the Dimapur-Imphal National Highway 2 was lifted on Monday after a representative of the union government assured Kuki groups that their political demands
Right.
can only be addressed and settled by the government. The Kuki groups and BJP MLAs have been demanding separate administration since the violence erupted on May 3rd. The decision to lift the roadblocks was announced after 19-member team comprising of Kuki, Zo civil society organizations and representatives of the United People's Front UPF and Kuki National Organization KNO, the umbrella organization of 24 Kuki groups that were part of the suspension of operations who packed with the centre, met a senior BJP functionary in Kasiranga on June 30th. Now this blockade was affecting the whole of Manipur because the supply lines were getting affected. Essential,
NH2 is that main lifeline.
it's a lifeline towards the highway 2 is also a very important lifeline towards Manipur, and a lot of your supplies used to come through it, your gas, your daily groceries, essential supplies. So the thing about essential goods, the prices were skyrocketing because of this lack of supply that had happened, and because of this blockade. And this blockade is being lifted after almost 60 days. So just imagine the amount of goods that were waiting to get into Manipur. That was also something. I mean, these are small welcome steps right now. It looks like
Confidence building measures.
There are confidence building
And I
measures.
think
At
we
least
should
they have
call
done
them that because that's exactly what we need right now.
So right now the unblocking of the highway is a very good measure, confidence building measure that has been taken, a CBM that has been taken, because right now you require a lot of essential goods.
Well, what's going to happen
Manipur.
in the days to come is anybody's guess right now, but one can only hope that good sense prevails. And I've been saying this from day one, that we must not lose faith in the process, and we can only hope that good sense prevails. And by the end of it, I mean, no life is worth your own special autonomy or separate administration or demands for a president's rule or the killings on the ground. It shouldn't be happening.